Hey there, fellow netizens. Welcome to the ultimate guide on cybersecurity. In this series, we're diving deep into the digital realm to arm you with the knowledge and tools you need to protect yourself from the digital boogeyman lurking in the shadows. So, why should you care about cybersecurity? Well, picture this: you're browsing the web, chatting with friends, maybe even doing some online shopping, when suddenly, your world comes crashing down. Your accounts are hacked, your personal information is stolen, and you're left feeling vulnerable and exposed. But fear not, my friends, because that's where cybersecurity swoops in to save the day. It's like having a superhero squad guarding your digital fortress, keeping the bad guys at bay and your online world safe and sound. But before we dive into the nitty-gritty of cybersecurity, let's take a moment to understand what it's all about. At its core, cybersecurity is all about protecting your digital assets, your personal information, your devices, and your online accounts, from cyber threats like hackers, viruses, and all sorts of digital nasties. And let me tell you, the cyber landscape is wilder than the Wild West out there. Cyber criminals are constantly coming up with new tricks and tactics to break into your digital world and wreak havoc. From phishing scams to ransomware attacks, it seems like there's a new threat popping up every day. But here's the thing: knowledge is power. By understanding the basics of cybersecurity and arming yourself with the right tools and techniques, you can level the playing field and keep those cyber baddies at bay. So, buckle up, because in this series, we're going to cover everything you need to know to stay safe and secure online. From password best practices to spotting phishing scams, we've got you covered. Get ready to become a cybersecurity superhero. Your digital world is counting on you. In this section, we're going to arm ourselves with knowledge about the various types of cyber threats prowling the digital jungle. First up, let's talk about malware, the boogeyman of the cyber world. Malware comes in many shapes and sizes, from viruses to worms to trojans. These sneaky little buggers can infect your devices, steal your data, and wreak all sorts of havoc. So, how do you protect yourself? Keep your software updated, install reputable antivirus software, and avoid clicking on suspicious links or downloading sketchy files. Next on our hit list, phishing. Phishing attacks are like digital con artists, tricking you into handing over your personal information under false pretenses. They might pose as a legitimate company or a friend in need, but don't be fooled. Keep an eye out for red flags like misspelled URLs, unsolicited requests for sensitive information, and offers that seem too good to be true. And let's not forget about ransomware, the cyber kidnapper of the digital world. Ransomware attacks can lock up your files and hold them hostage until you pay up. It's like something straight out of a cyber thriller, but unfortunately, it's all too real. Protect yourself by regularly backing up your data, being cautious when opening email attachments, and investing in robust cybersecurity solutions. Last but not least, we have social engineering, the art of manipulating people into giving up their secrets. Cybercriminals might use social engineering tactics to trick you into revealing your passwords, credit card numbers, or other sensitive information. Stay one step ahead by staying vigilant and skeptical of unsolicited requests for information, and always verify the identity of the person or organization you're dealing with. Now that we've got a handle on the cyber threats lurking in the shadows, it's time to armor up with some practical tips and best practices to keep ourselves safe and secure online. First things first, passwords. Think of them as the keys to your digital kingdom. You wouldn't leave your front door unlocked, would you? So why leave your accounts vulnerable with weak or reused passwords? Do yourself a favor and use strong, unique passwords for each of your accounts. And if you're like me and have trouble remembering all those passwords, consider using a password manager to securely store and generate them for you. Next up, Software updates. I know, they can be a pain. But trust me, they're worth it. Software updates often contain important security patches that fix vulnerabilities hackers love to exploit. So, make sure to keep your devices and applications up to date, and if possible, enable automatic updates for that extra peace of mind. Now, let's talk about two-factor authentication, thwart. It's like adding an extra lock to your digital fortress, making it even harder for cybercriminals to break in. By requiring a second form of verification, like a code sent to your phone or email, thwart adds an additional layer of security to your accounts. So, wherever possible, enable thwart to give yourself that extra layer of protection. When it comes to Wi-Fi, it's all about keeping your connection secure. Make sure to use strong, unique passwords for your home Wi-Fi network, and enable PA2 or PA3 encryption to keep prying eyes at bay. And if you're out and about, think twice before connecting to public Wi-Fi networks, as they can be hotbeds for cyber mischief. If you absolutely must connect, consider using a virtual private network, VPN, to encrypt your data and keep it safe from snoopers. Last but not least, let's talk about phishing awareness. Remember those sneaky cybercon artists we talked about earlier? Well, phishing attacks are their bread and butter. So, always be on the lookout for suspicious emails, texts, or messages asking for personal information or urging you to click on links or download attachments. When in doubt, trust your gut and verify the legitimacy of the sender before taking any action. Well, cyber champions, we've reached the end of our cybersecurity journey together. But before we part ways, let's recap what we've learned and talk about what comes next. Throughout this series, we've explored the wild and wonderful world of cybersecurity, from the threats that lurk in the shadows to the tips and tricks you can use to keep yourself safe and secure online. We've covered everything from malware to phishing to password best practices, arming you with the knowledge and tools you need to navigate the digital jungle like a pro. But our journey doesn't end here. No, my friends, it's just the beginning. Armed with this newfound knowledge, I encourage you to put it into action. Take the time to review your online security settings, update your passwords, and enable two-factor authentication wherever possible. And don't forget to stay vigilant. The digital landscape is always changing, and it pays to stay one step ahead of the game. So, go forth, cyber warriors, and conquer the digital world with confidence. And remember, if you ever find yourself in need of assistance, there's a whole community of cybersecurity experts out there ready to lend a helping hand. See you soon.